Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hard work feels good. Quick recap on the John Deere 210. This was a tractor that I got from a local farm down the street. Picked it up on Facebook Marketplace for free. Went through the carburetor, the fuel pump, cleaned it, got it up and running. Today's video, we're freeing up the brakes, painting the air filter cover. We're putting on a fuel filter. We also put a new gasket for the carburetor. So stick around to the end to see if this thing is actually gonna run and if it's worth actually redoing. All right guys, welcome back. We're gonna take the rear tires off, get to the brakes. The tires are locked up. The brake is on and I don't think it will release. So I'm gonna see what's going on with the brakes. So I'm gonna take the rear tires off. It's 5/8. I got my impact wrench for it. Okay. All right, this should just pop off. There we go. I think they were just stuck on. I was just trying to see if there was something that I was missing. But these tires are just stuck on. Probably have never been changed. They're dry rotted. They really don't hold air. Let's take the other side off. There we go. Just a little brute force gets it off. Okay guys, so it does have to do with the brake pedal. It's probably so locked up. If I manually pull it up to release it, it releases it right here, which then allows the axles to spin. So we do got to get in here and get at the brake. We should probably drop the mower deck so we could really get in there. All right, we're going to drop the mower deck. It's pretty easy, pretty standard on this. The higher grade you get, it makes it a little bit easier. There's these pins that you pull on this side, then in here, I don't know if you can see it, right here. There's another pin that you pull, you twist it, and that drops it right there. And we just got to do the other side. And that drops that. And I got to do this one. It's this, pull it, twist it, and the whole thing should just drop right down. And we just got to disconnect the belt. Actually, it's not the belt, it's the whole mechanism for the raises and lowers it. All right, so what somebody did is they used a nail instead of a cotter pin. I can't get it. By the way, a nail does make a good cotter pin. The only problem is it's in a super tight spot and I can't get to it. Almost got it, guys. Got it, guys. On this side, I got it. Okay, that one's dropped. Okay, this one's got an actual cotter pin. Let's see if we can just bend it. Oh yeah, easier. There we go, got it. Now this should just drop. Hold on. There we go. All right, and I know this mower deck is not in great shape at all, guys. There's some holes in it. Probably gonna have to either weld some patches, or if not, I do have one in my boneyard. I think it'll fit it. And I think it's got the right setups. I really don't know. I picked it up for free for future tractors. So that's where I'm at. But that's the mower deck. Yeah, look, see, it's gonna need some serious work. But like I said, I think the one in my boneyard will fit this, and it's got the same brackets and setups. All right, guys. One other thing, I just took this belt off for the PTO. We need a new one. That's pretty standard, and I'll get a new one and order up a new one. But I want to get to this rear end. But at the same token, when you drop the mower deck, there's this front plate that connects that holds the front of the mower deck. So down here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's little levers. All you got to do is push the lever over, this pin goes in, and you're able to drop it down, and you can take the plate out. So if you see what I'm talking about, you just take and you move it over, and the pins come over. Clearly this one's broke. We gotta grease these, oil these up. This is gas from the, we were working on the carburetor. All right, just figured I'd let you guys know that little piece, that's important. So on to the next thing. We're underneath, and so this is the brake setup. I don't know how much you can see. This is the brake pedal, and goes back underneath, connects the linkage here to this bar, which runs the brake right behind here. And I think the brake is actually good. I think the linkage is frozen up because it spins freely. When I yank it all the way up, the rear end spins freely when I got the motor running, and I could go through the gears. But as soon as I step on the brake, it does not come back up. And I think it's the linkage that's holding it from moving. So what I want to do is just spray. I've got this, I use it a lot, is this chain lube. So I'm going to spray a little bit on here. Just kind of, hopefully it'll penetrate in there, and it could help release and make it smoother to operate. Yeah, we gotta let that sit and penetrate for a while, and we gotta do some more. Definitely gotta spray some more underneath there. All right, guys, so I let that sit for a few hours, and then worked it back and forth and was able to free it up. All right, guys, welcome back. I got my air compressor going. Got some air just to kind of clean some of this up. Just so I can, I have not gone to the store, the auto parts store, and gotten a new one yet. I just want to clean this up a little bit, because if I get the tractor running, I want some sort of protection, you know? But clearly this thing is in bad shape. There was a nest in there. That does not smell that good. I think what I'm going to do is sand this down, and why not prime and paint it, clean it up. we're gonna keep moving forward. All right, guys, we're back. We're using the primer, Rust-Oleum primer. We're gonna prime the air cover to the John Deere 210, and then we're gonna use the Rust-Oleum engine enamel for high heat, because it's gonna get hot, obviously. Oh, I just got a bunch of leaves in there. Alright, now I'm just going to do the outside because it's starting to rust. Alright guys, as you can see in the video, I'm not that great of a painter, but I'm getting better. Every time I do a project, I get a little bit better. Alright, well, we'll let that dry. Alright guys, we're back. We're using, we're going to paint the air cover. I know it doesn't look great with it now because of the primer, and there's a lot of rust on there. That'll neutralize it and cover it, and then this will do really good. I'm using Rust-Oleum engine enamel, and gonna paint the black. The inside was not painted, but it was super rusted and it's all pitted, so I just want to make sure that it doesn't rust out on me. Might have done a little overspray, but that's okay, guys. Definitely oversprayed it, guys. I'm not a painter. I'm sure you saw I painted that and cleaned it all up, but we're gonna take this all back off. I finally got went to my local Napa store, just grabbed the generic fuel filter, and it's got the part number there. And it's just your generic fuel filter. I like the clear ones so I can see if in the event it's actually collecting dirt or debris or whatever I've got in the gas tank, or, you know, whatever's in the fuel that I get. And I finally got a carburetor kit, gasket kit for this particular carburetor. I grabbed it off of Amazon. I think it was like $12 or $14. And then I got a couple, I know everybody likes those little clips. I like these clamps for the fuel line. So I've got a couple of those so I can add the fuel filter. And if you remember, the fuel line's messed up. So I always keep a big thing of fuel line, and I got some, it's brand new. I'm actually running low. I should probably buy some more. So we'll cut a piece off and we'll add it and we'll get it situated. So... Alright, so we'll just start taking it apart, taking the carburetor off. I still haven't gotten an air filter yet for this. That's on the list. It should hopefully be coming today or tomorrow, I'm hoping. So we'll take the intake off this setup. Pop the rubber gasket out for the air intake. Okay, just gonna put these screws back in the carburetor there to hold the intake. I don't want to lose anything. If you're like me, I don't want to lose anything. It's one thing I got to work on in the barn is get more lighting, and once I get that situated, I'm sure that's got to be better for you guys to see. All right, so now I just want to pop this off. It's a little clip. I'm just curious to see how this would work, guys. I finally went and I bought to help get C-clamps off and stuff, the C-rings or C-clamps, whatever you guys call them. I'm just curious to know if I could stick this in here and just spread it apart and it pops it off. There you go. Yeah, that worked. All I had to do was spread it open just a little bit. I don't know how much you can see on this, but this just spreads open a little bit and then it pops right out. That just made my life a lot easier doing that. I just want to take the spring off so that it doesn't have any tension and it's out of the way. There we go. Let's see if we can get this to come back off. There we go. So now we just got to take the carburetor off, and then we're going to take this fuel line off right here, and I'm going to add this onto the to the fuel line. And like I said, I'm looking for a either a gasket, because the gasket's no good. I really don't know if I want to buy one of those knockoff fuel pumps yet. If I could find a gasket for it, it would just be easier to replace the gasket. I've had this running, so I know it works. It really does come down to if those knockoff ones work. All right, so take the carburetor off. I do need to take 2 screws off in the back. They're a little bit of a pain to get to. Okay, then all you gotta do is just unhook the choke, and yes, it's got gas in there because we had it running in the carburetor. I'm talking about I can feel it coming out, but that's okay. So let me reposition, guys, and we'll like I said, we'll work on repairing the kit, and then once we get the carb all redone, then we'll come back, we'll hit this, and we'll add the fuel filter to it and go from there. Today we're working on the carburetor. We're gonna do a so-called quick rebuild on it. Just gonna take it apart. It really leaks, this gasket. I don't know if you can see around the bowl. It's messed up. I know I took it apart, kind of cleaned it up a bit. I don't have one of those ultrasonic cleaners. That's on the way. But I'm just gonna go through it and kind of clean it up a little bit more and replace some of the gaskets so that it sits better, it's got a better seal, it runs better. So first off, you need a 9/16 for the bottom on the bowl. To take that off. Like I said, the gasket's all messed up. I did clean this. It doesn't look like I cleaned it, but I did clean it. Alright, so this gasket is the one that's messed up, as you can see. Hold on, let me grab a knife. This is my favorite knife, by the way. I'm just going to replace the blades. Super easy. It just makes my life easier. There's so much tape on this. Whoever packed it up, they probably spent more on tape than they did on the plastic. I just don't want to cut the gaskets or anything. Alright, here we go. Okay. All right, so we got a new float, main jet, the gasket for the bowl. Look at the difference between the two. This thing is brittle and just beat up. The float, I believe, works good. I know you get one of these for the fuel, etc., but we're not going to use that. I don't need that. Another gasket, and then the main gasket that connects there. This gasket is in decent shape. It's not brittle, but we'll go through the motions. All right, I believe this jet was good. I mean, believe it or not, guys, I had the tractor running. I know it leaks gas, but I actually had the tractor running. know what I'm going to do? I think I am going to change the jet out just because I've got it. Gives me a fresh start. There we go. Oh no, it's a little bit longer. The jet's a little bit different. Not sure if that is going to make a difference or not. I'm just gonna put it, I'm gonna leave the original jet in there. I cleaned this up big time. I sprayed it down with carb cleaner. I went through it, I scrubbed it. I know it didn't come out great, but I did clean it up a lot. I just want to kind of obviously I didn't do that great of a job cleaning it up, but at the time before I had to wait for the parts to come, I did go through and clean this up pretty good. Just want to make sure that this makes a good seal. That's the key. I don't know how you guys are with the metal floats. I like the metal floats better for some reason. So if I could keep them, I'd rather keep them. I know the float the last time, I don't know if you saw the other video, it didn't, I don't know if I actually did get it on video, but I submerged it underwater. It did not have bubbles or anything, so I know it's, you know, it's still good. Okay. So the gasket was like that. I'm just going to put this right like that. And it actually, believe it or not, for being a knockoff John Deere, the gasket seems to line up. I know it comes with this other gasket, which actually fits that. I think I'm going to put this gasket down first. Yep, it fits perfectly in there. So, something I just noticed, the bowl must have taken a hit. It's not rounded perfectly here in this one spot. But I'm going to put that gasket, put this gasket over that one. And then we'll put the float back on. And then we'll, I got the jet in there. I'm going to use the original pin. And if this doesn't work, 2 seconds, take it apart, and we could change the jet out. Okay, so that's on. And it's, yep, it's when you put it on, it looks like it crushes it in there. As you can see, though with the old one, I mean, it's super brittle and it's just, it's beat. Just want to make sure, again, this is lined up, because pretty much once I do this, I don't think I'm going to get a second chance. All right. That's it. I just changed only the gasket. Like I said, I left the original jet. I know it gets fuel and I know it runs. So these little parts and pieces, I'll save this, you know, maybe for future stuff, etc. The other tractor that I got out there in the boneyard I got to work on, that's trash. And then we'll, the gasket that's on there originally, if you can see, it's super thick. It's not dried out. It's more of a plastic than it is anything. I want to put a fuel filter on. So I'm going to put the fuel filter down here so that it comes from the tank up before it hits the fuel pump. I don't want anything to get inside the fuel pump, which was part of the problem. There was some dirt and debris in there. and the gasket wasn't lined up correctly. I think somebody touched this and they didn't put it back together correctly. And I know it's still a little wet. I think that I got to get a new gasket for that. I want to see if this solves the problem. But I definitely want to get a fuel filter on there. There was too much garbage in the tank. All right. So for starters, we're going to take that off, and I've got a ton of fuel line that I always keep, and so we're going to have to put a piece of fuel line on because I want to cut this clean. If you remember when I took it off, it just started to break apart a little bit at the tip only. The rest of it was fine. So I'm going to cut a little bit off. We'll put one on the fuel filter, take a little piece from the fuel filter back onto here, and then we'll put the carburetor on and we'll get her up and running. So, all right. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it'll just pop off because it's not a clean cut. All right. All right, so I want to cut. I don't know how much you guys can see and can't see, to be honest with you, but I'm going to cut, or attempt, I should say, to cut a clean cut on the fuel line there. Just want to try to get the spring out of the way, and then it'll sit lower with that. Is it going to be an issue with anything else? That's all I'm worried about. Maybe I should cut it lower. This is pretty big. I just want to see. Actually, I'm going to pull the fuel line down. Cut it that way. I don't think there's much fuel left. Oh, there is a little bit of fuel left in the tank. All right, I'm going to blow some air in there just to make sure. There shouldn't be much fuel in there. If there is, we'll just plug it up super quick. And guys, there is a direction for this. When you put these on, I don't know if you can see the arrow. That means the fuel goes this way. So this has got to go in to from the tank, and then this goes into the carburetor. Like I said, I'm just going to blow some air in there just to make sure that it's clean. I can hear the air coming out of the vent in the cap. That's what that was. I did it a couple times just to make sure. So I'm going to slide this on. I'm just going to move this back a little bit more. Slide this on. That's on there pretty good. I just got to get the little clamp on there. There you go. Clamp is on. I just got to feed it back up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to feed it up real quick, and then we'll do it out here so it's more room. Just want to feed it up so I can figure out what I'm going to need for fuel line. So I'm really not going to need much fuel line. That's not hitting anything. That's not sitting on anything. All right, so that much fuel line. Just to make the transition from the fuel pump over. And let's get one of these on. And just tightening it up a little bit so it doesn't fall off and down in there. It should come out, but we're talking about me. Okay. All right. All I want to do is slide this on. I think I'm going to pull it back through and do it again from underneath. It just makes it easier. And we'll slide it back up. I don't know how much you can see, but I'm just going to slide this on. Move the clamp. It's not that tight, but slide that on. Flathead screwdriver. It's nice and tight. Move this one down a little bit, and now we'll sneak it back up, and we're going to connect it right here to the fuel pump. Okay. Okay. Spin that around so I can get to it. Let's get that hose onto the nipple. Needs a little bit of help, not much, but just a little bit of help. There we go. Now it's all the way on. Now I'll just put the clamp on, tighten it down. Okay, there we go. So now I got a fuel filter on. That saves me problems and issues. Now we just got to get the carburetor on. Let's get the choke. Come on. There we go. Okay. Connect this back up. Here we go. We gotta also connect this spring up, back up over here. There we go. Okay, that's good. It's got good tension on it. Nothing's blocking it. All right, let's get rid of this zip tie that I had from when I did the fuel. Oops, I just bent that. Okay. Hopefully I didn't hurt that. Okay. All right. All right, so with that being said, I know it needs fuel. All right, guys, we're back. I put some fuel in it already. Nothing's up to the fuel filter yet, but so we'll give it a shot starting it up. It's in neutral. Oh, almost popped on the little bit there. Is it getting the fuel in there? Let's see. Yep, the fuel's coming in. I don't know how much you guys can see that, but if you can see down in there, I don't know how much you can see, but the bowl and the fuel filter is half full. I don't know how much you can see that. So she should fire. Oh, shoot. One other thing, guys. Totally missed that. I was so focused on the other stuff, I was excited. I forgot to put the fuel line on the carburetor. There we go. All right, let's put this on. That would have shot fuel everywhere. All right, now we should be good. And I don't see any, well, we'll check for leaks in a little bit. All right, guys, well, there you have it. Added a fuel line. Added a fuel filter so that we don't have any more issues with any kind of debris in the fuel, and tank was cleaned, etc. Added a little piece. The fuel filter, the fuel pump looks a little wet, but it's been wet. I'm gonna order up a gasket. I don't really want to buy a knockoff and then have issues, but fuel goes right to it. Doesn't sound too bad running. I think I got to play with the adjustments on it so that it runs a little smoother. But so there you have it. More to come. We still got a bunch to do. I got to put on the all the intake stuff, which has been painted. I just drove it around the farm. Man, this thing's fun to drive. Runs good. I got to work on the steering, the belts, the tension on the belts. We'll get to that. I just wanted to do a quick one on this. I adjusted the carburetor. It runs really good. So just putting back on the intake manifold and the filter and everything. So that pops right on there. This gasket, or rubber hose, has got to be fed into it. There we go. Okay, now that's seated good. Let's get these going. Okay, and then I have a new air filter coming. Hasn't arrived yet. Sometimes I get a little antsy. I can't not work on a project just because I don't have certain parts. But I did paint this. Didn't come out great, but it's better than what it was, and that's the key. That's all I'm doing these days, is I'm just trying to make it better than what it was. This was pretty bad in here. If you saw the previous video, there was a mouse nest. There was a mouse house in here, not a nest, a house. It was insane. But that's all cleaned out, obviously. Repainted it. It was really, really rusty. Just figured I'd try to save it instead of having to buy new. And there you go, guys. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than what it was, and at least it's running. Hold on a second. And there you have it, guys. Not bad for 15 bucks for the gasket. I think the fuel filter I think was like $3 or $4. Not that bad. She's up and running. We'll get to the next step as time goes on. So I got to tell you, just sitting on that John Deere 210, just having it running. What a great excitement. At least I know it's worth it to redo it. Taking it all apart, we're gonna paint it. It's gonna be basically a brand new machine. And most of all, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It's free to subscribe, then you automatically get the alerts. So as soon as I pop up a video, you'll get an alert. Plus it helps me to bring more videos to you. And please drop a comment. Let me know what you think. There's a couple of good comments that I've been getting. Different people have been commenting about they've been restoring John Deere 200s, especially too if you guys got better ways for me to handle it or fix it. Please drop me a comment. Don't forget, guys, hard work feels good. See ya.